What's up, my sad heads? This is Ethan.
I'm Spencer. Is that our new name for our fans? Sad heads?
Sad heads, yeah. Welcome back to Style and Direction, a menswear podcast without the stuffiness. We already introduced ourselves right at the beginning, so I don't know what to say next.
There's nothing to say. This is the end of the episode.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. No.
Bye.
Spencer, what are you wearing today?
Today?
Yeah.
Today
tomorrow.
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 Well, I'm wearing my a very cozy, not doing anything outfit right now. I have my tiger stripe cargo pants, which are very soft. I don't know how old they are, but they feel like sweatpants. I got my fucking trusty J. Crew pocket tee and my what kind of jacket is this? Like the happy jacket? That we got at the flea market? Happy, something like that.
Yeah, the happy coat or whatever.
I just got it's just like kind of like a Japanese workwear jacket, I believe, and I just got it on because I was a little bit cold. This is kind of like we should do an episode about quarantine fits. Like that with
quarantine fits.
Yeah. Because I'm not quarantined yet.
Well, you were at home, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not quarantined yet, but my campus, the school that I go to, did just announce that we are transitioning to online classes for the remainder of the semester. So,
God, I am so happy I didn't have that because I was talking to MJ. Don't get on mic, but you know, first off, let me realize MJ's first name technically is Michael, and I say don't get on Mike. I could be saying don't get on, comma, Mike, as in I'm telling him not to get on.
Wait, that's not what you're saying?
No.
Damn. I thought that's what you were saying this whole time.
Don't get on, Michael James Kintanar. Yeah, that's the full thing. There's a full reference. Yeah. No, I was talking to him about studying because he's going through midterms right now, and I was saying how I need, even though I don't pay attention in class very much, I definitely could not focus if I was just an online class.
Oh no, I don't like online classes. No, I don't like them. But
I hate snakes, Jock.
I live with traffic about an hour away from campus, and I have to get there at least an hour early to deal with parking. So. You know, I don't have to do that anymore, which is nice.
Yeah, it's a good old opportunity cost or trade-off scenario. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm wearing a blue check Spear Point with a red cable knit cotton sweater, and I'm wearing Stofa trousers and Aldens. So the reason why it's tucked in. My sweater is tucked into my high-waisted trousers because I'm in this weird ski style.
Oh, that's right.
Kick.
Yeah, your phase.
Yeah, where it's kind of like Ivy, except it's like 30s, 40s Ivy, but with outerwear and tucked knits. You'll read all that in the future blog post in 2 weeks or something. Mm-hmm. But today we're talking about casual shirts, not t-shirts. Right. I'm sure that will be a future episode, probably in summertime or something. But we're talking about casual button-up shirts that are not, we had one on Spear Points. Now let's talk about everything else.
Casual butts,
CBs, baby.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, I can't believe we haven't talked about this before.
No, I thought I'm sure it has come up.
Yeah.
During the recording of another episode, but we haven't had an episode devoted to it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there was a big blog post on sports shirts and Spear Point shirts, but that was before the days of the podcast. Or I just
the dark times.
Yeah, before the Empire. But no, now we're in the High Republic. You guys see that announcement that came out today?
Well, I didn't see the announcement.
Oh no! Well, welcome to the Star Wars corner, real quick.
Okay.
But it just came out that there's a big publication I guess MCU of sorts where they're gonna everything's gonna take place in the High Republic, which is only 200 years before the Phantom Menace.
Huh?
Because it's one thing where they can do whatever they want, but also I feel like they're gonna take cool things from the Old Republic and just put them there. So
this is gonna be
where
a
win-loss kind of thing.
Is it gonna be the same kind of thing that they've done with a lot of the sequels, where they take these are the cool things from the EU. We're just gonna Just gonna take those and leave everything else out.
That's what we're scared of with the Old Republic stuff. But it's like a big thing where like there'll be comics, audiobooks, like kids books. It's like basically a whole new universe where everything's kind of integrated with across different publishing arms.
Okay.
And so yeah, High Republic, new MCU style thing coming for Star Wars. Yeah. So there's your Star Wars corner and segment right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we haven't talked about casual shirts, and there's a lot of casual shirts. I mean, I think it's more important now because
how many do you think there are in the world?
like not types, like number of individual shirts.
No. Number of individual casual shirts. Sorry for the scream. For those of you not watching live, my phone just fell off of its jury-rigged stand. So
good lord.
Okay, we're just not going to charge it. I just got the new iPhone. The battery life should be able to sustain itself, hopefully.
Okay, cool. But anyway, so yeah, there's a lot of different types, and I think we can start talking about them because I mean, so for me, I wear spear points a lot. They're like my go-to shirt for any type of suiting.
Should we first just define what we mean by just casual shirts?
Like, okay, a non-dress shirt.
Sure, okay. But it's like, would you say like a spear point that you don't wear with a tie? Like,
Well, that's impossible.
Okay. Like you're doing right now.
Well, I wouldn't call this a casual shirt because it's a dress shirt I'm wearing casually. Okay. I think for me, a casual shirt is something that is
not meant to be worn with a tie.
Yeah, at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean you can, but the original purpose was for it not to be worn with a tie. That's at least how I see it in my head.
That makes sense.
But I mean, there is the Oxford cloth button down, which kind of straddles the in between thing of it. I mean, so Spencer and I are not hardcore trads. I think to some trad people,
I'm not like a trad wife.
Yeah, good God, that's I guess if you guys haven't been on my story, like last weekend, you guys have missed my whole tirade against fucking alt-right. Trad wife promoting people. So, but yeah, see the OCBD. I think to some people like they don't consider it a true dress shirt, even though people wear them with ties. It's because Oxford cloth is inherently casual. It's like wrinkly, it's not smooth. There's a bit of like a basket weave in it or whatever, and then the button-down collar makes it casual because, to these guys, a point collar is like the epitome of like a dress shirt, I guess, but to the rest of us, I think OCBDs
the rest of us non-nerds.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was just gonna say like, it's a good casual shirt to have, even if you don't like wearing ties. Like,
I mean, I think you could also you could see the difference between a OCBD that you get at like J. Crew or Banana Republic or whatever, versus like a nice one from like Drake's or like Mercer and Sons or whatever. Yeah. There's like a difference between those button-ups too.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like in general though, like an OCBD looks really good without without being buttoned all the way up with a tie. Like they're you see guys in like the 60s whatever wearing OCBDs tieless. They're kind of just thrown on, worn with trousers, but they're a good like in between shirt. And I know Spencer wears his OCBDs on their own a lot. Like you wear them with jeans like a jungle jacket or something, right?
I love it.
Yeah, but let's talk about shirts that are even more casual than that.
Oh my God.
And the one on my little outline here is a polo shirt. Now, polo shirts, inherently, you don't wear them. I mean, people did wear them with ties. There is a couple pictures in the 30s where like they're wearing them with like a bandana, like it's like buttoned all the way up like a button-up shirt, and it's with like a bandana, or with like a knit tie or something.
Yeah, I mean,
but traditionally they were meant to be worn.
They were sports shirts, and as we talked about in our big sports shirt article from like 3 years ago now,
2017. Yeah.
Fuck. How time flies. But anyway, as we wrote in there, sports shirt. These are called sports shirts because originally a lot of these were meant to be worn, like during athletically.
Well, Well, sportswear back then meant like non-business wear. So then
Yeah,
like
that's
it
true.
encompassed a lot of
But
stuff,
polo shirts
like,
were designed to be worn
Yeah.
for a sport.
yeah, you would wear them like you see them playing tennis. You see them playing polo. A lot of beach stuff, and so polo shirts technically they had long sleeve and short sleeve variations, but they also had spear point collars and loop buttons.
Yeah.
They didn't really come out with like, well, they had the placket one too, but they were definitely worn. You know, they didn't have the same connotation today with like preppy stuff. They didn't wear them with like, like pink shorts or whatever. You wore them with like trousers. You just wore them instead of a button-up spear point shirt back in like the
And
30s.
I have an image somewhere on my phone of like workers wearing like the SJC style polo shirts. Like it's like dock worker wearing it with like white work trousers and no shoes, and like, damn.
It's
Fucking
good.
badass. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yes, SGC makes some pretty good ones. I mean, those are the ones that I have.
I still think those are like the gold standard for like just polo shirts, cuz
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's like, depending on the look you're going for, those are definitely the most interesting, and obviously we have a preference towards things with longer collars, which not many brands are making.
Yeah, I think today though most polo shirts tend to go for that whole spread collar style, or like the Italian like one piece collar. One piece with Luffy.
Yep.
Monkey D. Luffy. No, like they have a little bit of like an elegant edge to it. I mean, they're very modern, most ones today. Ascot Chang makes some really great ones. I'm sure Ascot Chang could make a spear point if we wanted to. But in terms of ready to wear, I think SJC has them, beat on at least style. I don't know where SJC makes their stuff though. So, and I'm sure, yeah. I mean, there are plenty of other great polo shirt ones, but like much as we prefer wearing older school type stuff, and they just look more interesting to me.
Yeah,
they have the appeal of like a spear point collar just on a different body.
You could also go back to the for a different style that we like, the Uniqlo one, which, as you pointed out in your article, is kind of close to a Bryceland's one, and what other brands?
Oh yeah, like
the
a
ribbed bottom.
They just look like a 50s, like 60s, like knit polo kind of thing.
Yeah.
Very, very like. I don't know if Miles Davis ever wore them, but I'm sure he did. They're like, I always see like jazz guys wear them. Maybe not like in summer colors, but like the orange and like reds, like the kind of, mid-century color palettes, earthy color palettes. I think that fits in right at home there.
Yeah.
But I will say the one reason I don't wear polos too much is because I'm scared of the very prep, not even prep, like what do you call it? What's the douche one called?
Oh, frat?
The frat connotations.
Yeah.
Or preppy. Yeah, too much like preppy, not prep, And that's why, again, like I tend to go for like spear points or knit ones, because they don't look like, you're like a frat guy, and they also don't look like you're like a working at Target or something.
That's true.
That's what I'm always scared of.
Yeah,
but
like you don't want to just look like a business casual guy, or like it's tough wearing a polo shirt with a sport coat and not looking like Robert California.
Yeah. Yeah, oh my God, you're right.
Yeah.
That's what oh man, I can't not think about that now. Ever since I started watching Blacklist, I'm just like, this is Robert California talking right now.
Yep.
How's
Actors in movies.
And TV shows. Who would have thought?
TV shows, yeah.
Yeah. But let's go on to the next one, which I is probably one of my favorites, that I haven't worn in a while because it's been cold. We're in fall winter right now. So if you're listening to this in summer, for some reason, this is why.
Going through the back catalog.
But I love the actual sports shirt, or the actual Cuban collar shirt.
Oh,
like the quintessential like they were invented like in like I think like the late 20s or early 30s, and they've been around until like the 60s. I mean, the style has been around since then, but they kind of fell out of favor in like the mid 60s. There's a whole article we have about it, but basically it's the shirt that you think of when you think of like a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, so it has like the flat collar. It's not supposed to stand up like a dress shirt does,
because it doesn't have a collar band.
Exactly, and generally it has like a loop instead of a top button. Not always, but usually.
Yeah, I think like cops wear them as well, like a form of like the sports shirt.
Yeah, because it's just
it's like a military.
I mean,
style.
if you're listening to this podcast, you like chances are you know what it is, but the collar kind of lies more like lapels, like flat. On
Yeah,
your chest.
that's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
It lies flat, and it's really meant to be a button-up shirt that wasn't a dress shirt, worn with a tie, and wasn't a polo shirt.
Yeah.
And they sometimes they have chest pockets, sometimes they have one, sometimes they have two, sometimes they have flaps on them, sometimes they have button flaps, and they're usually made out of. I mean, I have one in like broadcloth, but they're usually made out of like a rayon gabardine.
Mm-hmm.
Gabardine is the twilled.
But because
fabric.
this shirt was around for so long, they were made of literally like everything. Like you can get
find
Pendleton, like Pendleton wool ones. They're still making those.
Yeah, wool, flannel,
Mm-hmm.
brush cottons. Yeah, and they're really, like I love them because like I think Spencer and I have probably talked about this before, but like they are one of the best ways to get like a vintage casual look. Like as soon as you wear it, you've achieved it. Whether you wear it with like chinos, you can wear it with jeans, it'll look vintage casual because that's how guys wore them back then. They'd literally throw these on with whatever trousers they were doing. Like you get home from work, you don't want to take off your your odd trousers, but so you put on your sports shirt, I guess.
Yep.
I have quite a few of them. I mean, I think we both do. We have quite a few of them in a bunch of varieties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a bunch of like solid color ones because those are the cheapest and easiest to get. Like almost every
the most common ones.
Almost every vintage store is going to have like a good stock of those, like anywhere in the country.
Prices do range based on location and how good
generally
they are,
generally it's like the plain ones you can get for like what, like $25-$30.
I don't think so anymore. I think you're looking at more like 45 to 50 now.
Okay, well, back in the heyday they were very cheap.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have a couple with patterns. Like I have like a pretty cool like red plaid one that I'll break out again this summer. But of course, we both have one from Groove and High.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, before we get into that, again, there were a lot of plain ones, but they made them in checks, especially the flannel ones. I think
again, like every pattern, because they were just casual shirts.
Right, but
so it's like,
my point was is that they were going to they use this as a way to get like novelty prints out there. So like if you wanted like a Christmas themed one, you might get like one with like a little reindeer design on it. You saw these a lot with like bowling shirts. The embroidery, you see them a lot for, like company shirts, not like corporate ones, but like mechanic shirts. They had those a lot in there, and so the ones from Groove and High that we have like a novelty like design on them. Like mine has like a abstract like black and red polka dot kind of thing to them,
and mine's the red and white polka dot.
Yeah, and they're really cool. I mean, Bryceland's wears them a lot. You get a lot of like that kind of vacation rock and roll chic to them, and I love wearing them with everything. Like like with tailoring, you get kind of like that 1930s, 1940s like vacation chic because like again, like we said back then, there wasn't specific vacation wear. Like you don't wear a t-shirt, you wore like your linen sport coat. But instead of bringing like a spear point, you would wear a sports shirt with your summer suit or your summer sport coat. And then it's instead of wearing like a blue striped shirt that Ethan likes to wear, you'd wear that with like a check or like a Hawaiian shirt for some pattern. And of course, Bryceland's does that really well. They wear like their polka dot ones or their coral motif ones with like a fucking like not 3-piece suit, but like a 2-piece like navy suit or a tan or something like that. They're really cool, and they also look great under like denim. Like it depends on the kind of fabric you go for in pattern. But like if you wear a plain one with like a denim jacket, that's cool. I wouldn't really wear an Aloha with like a denim jacket and jeans. I mean, I could. You could.
I mean, the nice thing about Groove and High, a little bit more expensive than a lot of other options. They're like probably with tax about $200.
If you can find a retailer for them, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're both lucky. Like we live by There's a place in Orange that sells them. That's where I got mine. Joyride. You got yours in San Francisco, correct?
Yeah, at Relic.
The sizing is weird.
The Japanese sizing.
It's
you gotta,
Japanese
size
sizing.
up twice.
Yeah. So they're a little bit pricier than a lot of other shirts, but the thing is, you just either can't find this specific style vintage, which is incredibly long, like spear point loop collar with the like rayon wild fabrics. You can't find it vintage because it's just like none of them left, or if you do find them, they're going to be way more expensive than $200
because they're rare. Yeah, people collect them.
Yeah.
And on that point, like the size of the collar definitely matters. Like the earlier ones have longer collars, and then like later ones, like 50s, 60s, get shorter. Like the height of how low they sit kind of gets higher too. But the good thing is that they're kind of coming back. I mean, they kind of came back, but then I think other retailers are starting to like kind of.
Yeah, I mean now like every retailer has like Aloha.
Yeah, I know that I have
summer.
like a J. Crew rayon shirt.
I have several ones from J. Crew.
And then
one of the things we're pretty
Uniqlo
good
just
at.
came out with some. Yeah, you can find them more so now to get that kind of vintage look. Because I mean, again, like it's a way to wear a button up, like because a polo shirt is a pullover technically. It's usually a knit. So if you want more of like a button up feel, you wear the sports shirt. You wear the Cuban collar shirt. You wear the Aloha, and you get that kind of you get that feel for it. And you can unbutton as you want to.
Yeah.
And also like it's supposed to fit pretty loose. These shirts, when you look back at it, most shirts are supposed to fit looser on you, like even spear points. There's like a good picture of I think, well, any guy you see them like Clark Gable, Jimmy Stewart without their sport coat. Their shirts, they're not like super baggy, but they are fuller cut. And these shirts are definitely fuller cut.
That was the case for basically every shirt up until like
the
probably
70s.
The 70s, yeah.
Yeah.
No, because they weren't, they weren't like Ethan said, they weren't necessarily baggy.
Yeah.
But people did not wear slim fit shirts.
Exactly.
I'm sure you could point to some examples of people who did, but generally shirts were not made to be slim fit.
Yeah, and again, we're going to include a lot of these pictures in the show notes for this article, for this episode, I should say. But there are some other related ones that are kind of cool, like Guayaberas. They kind of got like a sport collar, but they have like the not embroidery, but like the ethnic pleating on it.
Yeah,
and you get.
And I mean,
this is
where the term Cuban collar comes from, right? People.
I think so. Yeah, because Guayaberas are technically Cuban. I'm sure other places have them, but they have a very like a Hispanic influence. It's like a more so the colonization kind of thing. I think that's what kind of plays into it. But they have, like, you see them in Cuban culture a lot. They're very important, and they found their way into kind of like the lexicon. They might not be as popular as like an Aloha shirt, but you still see some guys kind of rock them.
And I mean, they're very like mid-century.
Yeah. They're like a shirt jacket. So unlike a sports shirt, which you can wear untucked or tucked in, Guayaberas are meant to be worn untucked, and they have pockets. Usually 3, at least 3, but 4. There are some that only have 2 at the hips, which are pretty cool and probably rarer as well. And I would say look for a full cotton one or like a linen one, because they are almost always polyester or polyester blend.
Yep.
So I would not want to wear them. I mean, the makers are still probably are Cuban in origin, but just for the sake of comfort, I would say a cotton or a full natural fabric one.
And yours is from Garments for No One?
Yes, yeah. Quick shout out to our friends Garment for No One.
They make it. Yeah, that yours looks good, man. That looks really nice.
Yeah, I just don't like. It's a little on the slimmer fit, so I don't really wear like. Most of these shirts I don't wear t-shirts under. Let me just say that first of all. Like I think I've gotten better at that. Like with there was. With OCBDs, like when I'm wearing an OCBD casually, and I don't wear them all casually like Spencer does, but I have one that is like kind of ratty. I got it in Brooklyn. It's like a green OCBD. I wear it when I'm painting. That one I wear without a t-shirt underneath, like an undershirt. And so Guayberas, I wear them without anything underneath. I don't wear anything under sports shirts. But yeah, the garments for no one, they make them. They're cool. I think they're gonna make them again in a couple upcoming season because they don't have like stock fully year round. They kind of make stuff whenever it sells out. They move on to the next thing, kind of like Bryceland's. They have a very core type of product thing.
And look out for an upcoming episode, hopefully soon-ish, with the guys from Garms.
Garms for no one.
Yeah.
And then that brings us to the terry cloth shirt, which is kind of very similar to a Guybera, except that it is lined with terry cloth.
As the name implies.
Yeah, it's got the sport collar, so it lays flat. It's usually got like a poplin broadcloth like front or body, but the inside is lined with terry cloth, which is toweling fabric. I think the Bryceland's ones made by Ascot Chang are called towel shirts.
Mm-hmm.
And they're really cool. I mean, I wouldn't wear mine. I mean, Spencer's worn his out. I don't really wear mine unless I'm swimming or at the beach because it feels kind of weird to me. And they are pretty rare. You don't really find too much. I mean, you can find them on eBay, but like in terms of like style inspo, you don't really see a lot of it. So it's kind of hard to kind of think about how you would wear it.
Yeah, and it's like it was something that I don't think I really saw a whole lot of until Bryceland's came out with their version. I was first introduced to the towel shirt from Bottle Rocket, the like Wes Anderson's first movie, because Owen Wilson wears one the whole movie.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. And when I saw that, I was like, "Oh, that's kind of neat." I might have shown up in like Mad Men or something, but
probably.
That's the first time I remember.
I mean, if you look
it
it up, you can probably see like illustrations of like mid-century '60s guys wearing them, even though they were in existence since like the 30s at least.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a great picture of a guy wearing a double-breasted terry cloth DB jacket, and I would.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
It's like a random like tiny illustration in like an Apparel Arts magazine, and I'm like, if I could find that shit, that would be amazing. I would wear that to the fucking beach, but of course I don't think you would ever find it.
But they are really great, like beach, like pool party shirts.
Yeah, I mean, why drape yourself in a towel? You can literally button up a shirt and you'll be dry afterward.
It's fucking great, and I think they look cool as hell. The one that I have has this very, like, mine's I think late 60s because it has this super psychedelic like paisley print, which is just very fun and summery.
Yeah, mine has like a boating stripe or like an awning stripe, very bold, wide blue and white stripes, and that also is very summer to me. It's very cool. And then lastly, in the sports shirt category, we have the gaucho shirt or the pullover, which is kind of like a polo shirt combined with a sports shirt.
Yeah.
I gave mine away. I only have one left, because I don't really wear them. They're very novelty. They're very rare. They're very expensive. And there's not a lot of vintage inspiration, but if you think you can pull off like a good fun novelty sports shirt and a good polo, you can probably pull this one off. But there'll be pictures of it in the show notes. So let's move on to the next part, which is the focus of an article that should be out by now. It's the CPO/work shirt.
Yep.
Now we're going back into the realm of regular shirts now, regular button-up point, spear point collar, whatever you want to call it. And I got into these because of that fact, because I got tired. Like, I got my OCBDs, I got my spear points for one thing. I got my sports shirts and polos for another thing. But what's the middle ground? Like, there's got to be something in the middle here. And
there's got to be another answer.
It's right here, the work shirt.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, again, there were people who wore sport collar work shirts, I should say. But this one I'm specifically labeling as a work shirt when it has a spear point collar or a point collar. It has 2 chest pockets and it's a full button up.
Do you want to include band collar shirts into this? Because that was a workwear thing.
I mean, I guess I just don't wear them. See, that's band collar shirts are the worst Ethan shirt because they literally have no collar,
no.
at all.
That's true. That's what makes them a band collar shirt.
Yeah.
So well, I've been wearing work shirts forever.
Well, one of the first shirts you got that I was like, hot damn, was the freaking like Mr. Freedom denim work shirt. That was
with the
you still wear it, right?
I still wear it.
Yeah,
it's it's Mr. Freedom. I got it from Joyride. Mr. Freedom, for those who don't know, is like it's not a French brand, I don't think, because they're based in LA.
They're based in LA. I thought they just had I thought they were Japanese and just had a store down here.
No, well, the owner is French. I think they're from here.
Interesting.
Anyway,
okay.
I don't know that for sure. I'm not going to do a fucking brand history. They're like don't want to call them reproduction brand because they do a lot of their own stuff, but they're very like vintage inspired.
And they lift a lot of details straight from the source.
Yeah, and so this one, it's a great like super like smooth chambray. With a long spear point and a throat latch. Generally, these shirts would be like super expensive, but I managed to get like, I don't remember if I got this at Joyride, and they were selling it for like $100, which is probably $200 less than it retailed for.
Yeah, I was about to say. But yeah, those are all details you would see on these things. You know, they had point collars, they had the throat latches in some cases. They had fun pockets, like sometimes they had flaps on them, sometimes they had pen pockets, asymmetrical pockets, to differ for like the tools that you would wear.
And the one I got, I think, is specifically based on a naval chambray shirt, like something for the U.S. Navy.
Yeah, and again, like also like the CPO is a naval shirt as well. I think it's like an officer shirt or something. I mean, these were technically meant to be worn as both regular shirts, like button-ups, and overshirts.
Mm-hmm.
You're
talking about CPOs now?
Well, I think both. Some people wear like work shirts. I mean, maybe not like the ones from, like workwear times, but like later on, people wear them over stuff. Double
that's
layer
true.
Some shirts.
Yeah.
Who's the guy? Oh, Bruce, not Bruce. Steve Bannon. He would wear double shirts.
That's true.
Or triple shirts.
Man, remember him?
What's he up to?
I'm gonna Google him really quick.
Oh my god. But yeah, so
Bannon,
you had these shirts, and the reason why they came back for me and why we're talking about them today is because Drake started bringing them back.
Oh, really quick. Sorry. We are now in direct competition with Steve Bannon because he launched a podcast.
Oh, shit.
He's also a podcaster.
Resistance. Resist now.
Yep. Pod save menswear. Okay.
God. But I got back into because Drake's launched the LEJ like work shirt, and they have kind of a more safari kind of style to them, or a military style, because like the pockets have like a yoke to them and they're like pleated.
Mm-hmm.
But the function's the same. They had like a point collar with dual breast pockets, and it really, it harkens back. There's plenty of vintage illustrations, whether they're made of wool, whether they're made of chambray or cotton twill or something, made of flannel or chamois, right?
Chamois.
But yeah, they're a big standard, especially for like the Ivy community. Like there's a guy, Oxford Cloth Button Down, who fucking wears them over his OCBDs.
That's true. And I'm gonna say the thing that I really love about the Drake's work shirt is that, and I told Ethan this about like jackets the other day, but they have big functional pockets.
Oh yeah, that's great.
I think most are like mall brands, or even some of the higher end brands that like are like, okay, we're gonna make a military jacket, or we're gonna make like a work shirt. They put fucking tiny ass anemic pockets on there that are not doing anyone any good.
It's also not just about the size; it's about how much like pouch there is to them too.
Exactly.
And it just comes back to the fact that guys don't put anything in their pockets, and these shirts were meant to be used. You put fucking pens in there, you put like your notepad in there, which is what Spencer does. I do it too. I stopped taking notes for God knows why, and he will judge me for it.
Okay.
But yeah, these shirts were literally meant to be used. I mean, whenever I wear them, it's great. I get to put my fucking sunglasses in there, or my regular glasses, or or put shit in there that I don't want to put in my pockets, like my pants pockets, I should say. And I love the Drake's ones because they're colorful. At least that's the way they marketed them. Like, you know, like there's purple, there's black, there's khaki, but there's also like blue, reds, greens. And the thing with a lot of work shirts were that they were, you know, gray, salt and pepper.
Yeah. They weren't meant for fashion. They were meant for function.
Yeah, and you would wear them because you didn't care what, like, if you got oil or paint on them, you know. And but the thing is, when you look at the old illustrations or whatever, like, guys still wore them with ties, because back then you kind of wore ties a lot, you know, and they wouldn't wear them with like their brocades or anything, but they'd wear them with knit ties or wool ties.
Well, it's also because a lot of workers, you know, they had maybe one suit, and you know, if you have button ups that aren't too dirty, why not wear those and with a tie? So it wasn't like, again, it wasn't fashion. It was just like, this is my shirt. This is what I wear with a tie.
Yeah. And I'm sure also, like, back then, even if you were wearing a work shirt, you would still have to look presentable. So that's why they also made like casual ties for these guys, you know, wool or knit square end ones, because, you know, they were meant, they had the look of a tie, but then, you know, they had the casual vibe, which is again why I like the whole shirt in general. It's because, you know, an OCBD has like the ivy connotation. I like the kind of looseness of like a spear point collar. But you can't, you know, while you have a sports shirt that has a wide collar, you can't wear a tie with that. But this has that in it. So you wear a work shirt with a tie, with tailoring. You wear it with like a navy sport coat or a tweed sport coat, and you still look smart, but it has a kind of like an edge to it. You know, you see all the pictures that I have included in both in this, you know, the show notes and the specific article on the work shirt, and you see like guys just kind of look cool with it. They don't have the vacation chic, they don't have the summer look to it, but they're still casual at the same time, you know, with trousers, with denim. And then you look at like how Bryceland's or Drake's wears them. You wear them with like as like an ivy OCBD alternative. You know, you still wear it with a tie. You wear it with fucking loafers or whatever. It's cool. It's a great shirt that I've only recently kind of come across, started collecting them. You know, I have like a chambray throat latch shirt that I got from Japan, from Momotaro Denim. I should have gone to like Real McCoy's and just like splurged, but I didn't have time to go and visit the store, and I feel bad.
That's a shame.
But I happened to be taking a shit in this mall. Okay, let me just say, dude, you're walking everywhere, you're drinking lots of water, you know, you're gonna have to take a shit. So I went to a mall, and like a random mall, and I went to the restroom, and then I was like, hey, there's a denim store in here. And I walked in, and I'm like, hey, this shirt's cool. How much is it? It was like under $100. You know, it's not like the best. It's still alpha sizing, but it's great. You know, and it's my favorite. I think
with more casual shirts, that's fine. If you're not planning on wearing a tie with it, you don't need the neck to fit perfect. It's fine.
And even if you do wear a tie with it, it doesn't have to be perfect, because that's how guys back then did it too. You know, they just.
Do you know what the Drake's work shirts are made of? Because the one maybe it's just like the flash, but in the photo, the
it's
purple
see-through,
shirt,
right?
Well, no, it's not that. The purple one looks like pretty shiny.
Well, that's just what happens when you have a very finely twilled garment.
Yeah.
You just inherently, because it's spun more, it has like a natural sheen to it.
But it's still just like cotton, right?
I think so. I think, you know, I think the old ones were cotton. I think now they made them the same shirt block in like cotton linens now or something, or full linen. But yeah, I love that, and I wish that because Spencer and I tend to buy vintage, I wish that vintage ones were more colorful, because I love those colors. You know, I don't really stray away from wearing blue striped shirts, but again, if you want some color, you to get that across in a shirt, you do it through either a sport shirt like an Aloha Cuban collar, or you do it through a work shirt like Drake's. And all I have is like blue and like a very, very dark green gray that I got from Please and Thank You. But yeah, I love wearing mine with ties. I love especially wearing them with t-shirts underneath, as in like a striped tee. Yep. Go check out that article. Or the turtleneck base layer. They're like perfect for that kind of thing. These shirts are really meant to be layered, especially also because they're made of, again, chambray denim or cotton twill, compared to say like the gabardine of a Cuban collar. These ones have more heft to it. They have more play with texture, you know, so they're a bit more versatile in that regard of, you know, layering both over and under.
And I mean, you could talk. If we mentioned chamois shirts, but those. So chamois is this very. It's this heavier, like, I don't know. I've heard some people say originally it's supposed to be made of like leather.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me look this up.
They're kind of you know when you feel it because it's kind of like a brushed cotton except it's different.
Exactly. It's like a lot. Some people might get it confused with like flannel, but generally,
yeah, because chamois has
wool.
it's more like it's like a pilly. It's more pilly. It's kind of like a Casentino-y kind of wool, like boiled wool kind of. But then also that's not really right because boiled wool to me seems more like Melton wool, and that's more CPO fabric. There are people more qualified than us, but that's just another type of
CPOs. Like chamois shirts are just kind of like, I think of them as more preppy CPOs because they're made by like LL Bean makes a really good one that you can get new for not that expensive or on eBay. But I don't own one, but they are like it's an overshirt. Like it's not. You can of course wear it by itself, but generally the way you see it styled is over another
something.
Shirt. Yeah.
The
only reason I don't own one is because I've tried one on several times because J. Crew made them. Obviously, our collar wasn't that, it was a shorter collar, but I tried it on in store, but it wasn't the collar that really stopped me. It was the fact that I don't like wearing like jackets without a flat hem.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I never got one. It always just kind of looked weird. But I still like the style. I like, Oxford cloth button down wears them a lot. I believe.
Yeah, and checks are great. Oxford cloth button down wears them a lot. We like that. Again, these shirts are like begging to be put into like very fun colors because I mean, even though sport shirts had a lot of them, work shirts technically didn't. But the best color that I've seen very often is red.
Yeah. Red.
Yeah, we were just at the Rose Bowl and I saw a couple of chamois and CPO shirts, and they were like vibrant red, and they're cool. It's very preppy, very very prep Ivy trad kind of thing going on. Well, yeah, not preppy, but Ivy trad.
Okay. Do you own any chamois or flannels or anything like that?
I do not because I don't like wearing wool shirts. Unfortunately, I tend to heat up a lot, and I love wearing layers. I rather wear layers than one shirt, so therefore I wear just straight up cotton shirts. I don't even like wearing linen.
We've talked about this before, but we both like the flannel, like the cotton flannels that aren't super heavy, but have like
cotton.
Yeah, but they have like a texture to them. And those are harder to find.
Yeah. I mean, you can't really go wrong with chambray. That's like the best shirt fabric ever.
Yeah.
Chambray and Oxford,
Because I have a couple double RL flannels like that I think maybe pop up in the article.
Yes, I know.
But one that I wore a lot this winter was a throat latch pullover one with the spear point collar, and then I have one that I don't wear much because almost one of the first times I washed it, I left a pen in the pocket. Now there's a big ink stain. But
gotta stop. Maybe that's why I stopped doing it. I'm just scared of that happening.
But it was a really nice earth tone flannel with the spear point, and I'm probably just gonna start wearing it again and say fuck it because it's a cool shirt.
Put some paint on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Put a bird on it. So let's go to the last one now. The last one is the Sawtooth and Western shirt. This is fairly new for me now, and Spencer in a sense. And you gotta thank Bryson's for it, because in the I could not for the life of me find very many vintage Sawtooth shirt pictures. I guess I could keep looking for them, but they've been around forever. Ethan Newton says that he based it off of a 30s one that he's had. LVC has them. Mine is from LVC, presumably. It has a Levi's label, and I'm pretty sure it's a vintage Levi's reproduction label. But if you could think of a way for the spear point collar and the CPO work shirt, whatever, to have a baby and have it in Texas, it would be the Sawtooth shirt.
Did you write that down?
Did I write that? No, I did not write that down.
Is that just off the dome, or did you think about this?
It's OTD, dude.
Okay.
No, I'm pretty sure I say like it's if they had a baby, but I just kind of took it farther.
Okay.
But yeah, it has a spare point collar, usually longer. It's got 2 breast pockets. It's made out of denim, but it's got pearl snaps and kind of like a double triangular pocket flap, which look like sawtooth teeth. So.
Okay.
But Western shirts, you've seen them. Usually a Western shirt just inherently is like a button-up shirt with pearl snaps. I think that's just what we call them now. But if they have kind of like that yoke, like on in the upper chest, shoulder area, and to me, I never liked them because to me a Western shirt always had embroidery. Like I never saw them without it.
Wow. Okay.
Maybe it's because I say this in the article. We had a couple of people in the vintage community who were into Western wear, but not like the workwear Western wear. No, they were like wearing
Roy Rogers nudie suit.
Exactly, like the showman rodeo type of stuff. Made out of gabardine or later on polyester with like yellow and blue or brown with like embroidery, like fucking flowers on it. Fucking yeah, or like those nudie suits, I guess. Like those kinds of things. But Brycelands did start making them, and they wear them in a way that I was like, oh, I can dig this. Like they wore them with like jeans and loafers or jeans and boots, and it looked really cool. Even though it is, what do you call it, Canadian tuxedo.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah, no, they're great.
Yeah.
It didn't look too Western to me. It was a very different type of vibe, and I'm sure that lots of guys in the menswear industry are like, oh fuck, like this is weird, but they're slowly starting to get in there. I mean, Berg & Berg has made Western style shirts with spread collars / point collars, not a true spear point, and with a single button flap instead of the 2 for the sawtooth style.
Because they're cowards.
Yeah, they're cowards.
Just kidding.
Withe,
it's a very nice looking shirt.
Yeah, it's a good way to kind of get that point without, going full cowboy.
Yeah,
as it were.
But I personally think that you should go full cowboy. If you're gonna make a Western shirt, don't chicken out.
At least a sawtooth part to it.
That's my personal belief. I still think the Berg & Berg shirt is very nice.
But it does look like a work shirt. It looks like a work shirt.
It looks like a work shirt with pearl snaps.
Yeah, exactly.
The rounded collar or the rounded pocket flap is nice. I do like that.
But yeah, that's why the sawtooth and Western shirts have like a separate area in my mind because they have those overt Western styles to them, and they're really cool. I love the way Bryson wears them with like sport coats, not just like jeans and trousers, but like actual sport coats. You wear them with leather jackets. They have like a punk edginess to them because they literally have like metalware in it, right? For the pearl snaps, they inherently have that in there compared to like a work shirt, which is just kind of a regular kind of thing. So yeah, I really like the Western shirt. They also had them in not just denim, but in a variety of colors and fabrics as well. You see them in like plaids in white. I really want. Oh man, if Joyride still has a white one, I might grab that because that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, like they have like kind of like that punk edginess to them. They just have like it's got metal on it. That's cool. That's really cool to me.
I always think of these as like hippie shirts, especially the brighter plaid ones, because
you're right.
They were made in the just plain plaid ones. I always associate those with the 60s and 70s, like Doc Sportello kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like even the denim ones, like you saw a lot of those with like embroidery on them. Not like cowboy embroidery, but like you would, embroider like fucking flowers or musical notes and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like the gabardine ones, I always think, okay, this is a very like 30s, 40s, 50s shirt. But the denim ones and the plaid ones, I'm always like, okay, this is like hippie style.
Yeah. I mean, I like the check ones because in my article I say like it's a good way to wear a check shirt that isn't too dressy.
Yeah.
My head, I keep thinking of like the J. Crew gingham shirt kind of thing.
Yep.
And even though I am wearing a Tattersall shirt right now, when you wear it with like the hardware in it, with a little bit of yoke and the sawtooth pockets, it has again like an edge to it. So it's not like you're wearing a fucking J. Crew preppy Vineyard Vines gingham shirt. You're wearing something that has that's a bit more versatile, a bit more casual. You can wear it with jeans without looking like, again, like a 40-year-old dad. Like, you don't look like my dad. You know, my dad wears a lot of Gingham Banana Republic shirts with like slim fit chinos. You know, so you get that like kind of hippie vibe if you wear it with like a jungle jacket. You know, you wear it with a sport coat. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I definitely love the gabardine one because it's, in my head, it's a way of getting a spear point shirt, because these shirts have point collars, but out of the material that you would see a sport shirt, Aloha, fucking Cuban collar shirt. It's like a way of combining these ideas together, in my head at least. And even though I could not find work shirts with vibrant colors, for some reason I have found Western shirts in those colors.
Well, because
so,
they're kind of, a lot of times those were vibrant. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when I've been looking for like a green one because I wanted a green Boy Scout shirt, because those shirts inherently are green and have they were a work shirt. You know, they had like the pleated double breast pockets and a point collar, but I could never find it in my size because they're for fucking Boy Scouts.
They're children's shirts. Yeah.
You know, I'd have to find like a huskier guy because I'm a short guy. I'm not that big, but you know, I'm definitely not like a fucking 12-year-old kid. But I found the CPO or the work shirt, but it was like, again, like I said, a very dark gray green kind of thing. But then I found at Inspiration a vibrant hunter forest green sawtooth shirt in gabardine. Even though I can't fasten all the way up because it's still very small, it's still super cool. I love wearing it as like a work shirt. I wear it with a turtleneck base layer. I wear it with a fucking graphic tee or striped tee underneath it, you know. And yeah, it's great, and I love it. But the best one is the black sawtooth gabardine shirt.
And that was your first, right?
That was my first sawtooth shirt. Yeah. Oh, it's not technically a sawtooth because it doesn't have double. Or no, it does. It does. It does.
But it doesn't have yokes.
It doesn't have the yoke on the upper chest panel area, shoulder area. But it does have the pearl snaps and the double sawtooth pocket. That was cool. Got that in Japan because I had seen Ethan Newton and Kenji of Bryceland's wearing a black denim sawtooth shirt. I thought that was really cool. At this point, I'd never had a true denim shirt. I've had chambray shirts that are like washed and soft, but you know, a sawtooth shirt, based on the people who have tried it, I think that Permanent Style has done a review of their sawtooth shirt. You know, it's very heavy. It's meant to be worn. It's very heavy duty type of shirt. So I'm like, oh, I don't know if I could do like a real sawtooth, but finding the gabardine one, I'm like, oh shit, this is it, you know. And it's cool because it's black. It's got the metal hardware, so it's got that punk edginess built right into it. Yeah, it's a more mature version of like an Aloha shirt, because the Aloha or the Cuban collar shirts, they lay flat. You know, they inherently have a vintage casual, but because a sawtooth has a collar band and a proper collar point to it, it's just a more fun but traditional button-up shirt, you know. And that's why I wear it like fucking a lot. I wear it a lot.
And I don't know, I mean, it's super easy to wear these without looking like a cowboy, which is, I think, some men's fear with these shirts. Because, I mean, you're starting to see these at in mall stores.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's like if you don't wear like cowboy boots and like a cowboy hat with these, you're not gonna look like a cowboy. It's just gonna look like a cool shirt. So
yeah,
it's
again,
easy to do.
Yeah, again, like, you know, you put on a sport coat over it, put on a leather jacket, you remove all the Western, you know, connotations to it. I mean, that goes to, as we're wrapping up here, it goes for all the shirts. You know, like, oh, I don't want to wear an Aloha shirt because I don't want to look like a dad on vacation. You know, wear it with like tucked in the chinos, wear it with a fucking leather jacket, suede jacket, denim jacket. Mm-hmm. You're fine. You know, the other pieces you add on to it make it a little bit, you know, more wearable, more versatile, a little bit better, removes all the negative connotations. But it still maintains the funness or the novelty of it. You know, like, you're still wearing an Aloha shirt, but you're not wearing it with fucking cargo shorts and like a dad cap. You know, you're wearing it with, you know, with jeans. You get like, you know, that kind of and Magnum PI looks fucking cool, by the way. Yep. Like, you know, when, you know, you can you know, do a version of that. You know, trade the ball cap in for a different type of hat. And you got that. You know, you got it really cool. You know, for me, it's always been about subverting what it was worn with originally. So like when I wear a Western shirt, I wear it kind of like as a work shirt. I don't really wear it with denim, even though I have done it. I typically wear it with like chinos or with like trousers and put like a different kind of spin on it. I'll wear Cuban collar shirts with tailoring. I'll wear a CPO work shirt with fucking shorts. It's just different ways of like putting a spin on it to kind of remove the overt connotations but still save some of the vibes that people can tell kind of what you're going for. And even then, some people won't know what you're going for. People just look at it. It'll just be a shirt to them, honestly.
Yeah, most people don't know the difference. Yeah,
unless you're wearing a fedora, people don't really take notice at all. That could be a theme, so... yeah. There are a lot of fun options out there, so you don't feel the need to just wear a button-up shirt all the time, because no one does that. People back then didn't just wear dress shirts all the time. They had shirts to be dressed down in,
And you should too, idiot.
Yeah. And,
fuck you.
Fuck you, bitch.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. We're speaking to you.
You think some guy in the subway in New York, whoever this is, can be like, he'll be like, my stars, these abrasive podcast hosts are
Who is this man? Who is this man that you are inventing?
But yeah, check out the blog post. There's a lot of blog posts I've already written about the subject, about each of these things, but also the show notes will have all these pictures in there, and links to stuff that we think are cool. Yeah, let's finish off here with a quick answer to a question.
Okay, are we just going to give the answer?
Yes.
We're not going to read the question. What's the question?
The question we have here is, I'm an infrequent suit wearer trying to buy one good suit for those occasions. Anything you guys recommend in the $800 to $1,000 range? And that comes to us from... where's his name? Fuck.
That's a weird name.
I don't know. I lost the name.
Oh. Well, you know who you are.
Spencer, do you know what you would pick? Oh, no, I got it. Well, the name is One Casual Boy. That's the name.
Okay, One Casual Boy.
Honestly, if that's your range, though, that's pretty high.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, it's like
normally
I'd suggest like Suit Supply or Spear and McKay, but even then,
well,
800.
Spear and McKay is probably the best one. Like you might as well save your money. I mean,
yeah.
If you're gonna wear it not infrequently, then you might as well get Spear and McKay.
Oh yeah.
They just came out with their fully canvas suits, I think, for like $500 to $600. So that's a little bit under your budget there.
Hey,
really good.
use that $200 on something else. What's something you could get for $200?
A used Switch, like you are.
Oh, that's right. Hey, I'm in the market for a used Switch or Switch.
Hey, are you gonna finally get good at Super Smash Brothers?
Probably not. I'm getting it for Mario Odyssey and Legend of Zelda.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Come on, you gotta get a main like a third.
Okay.
But yeah, Spear McKay is really good. Really good value. I love their Neapolitan cut. Which is probably the closest you'll get to like combining the best of like Italian.
If you up your budget by like $200, you're gonna start getting in the range where you can afford like most made-to-measure stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to think real hard about them. I don't really know, because I think after that you start to get like the $1,500 range. It's kind of tough, the $1,000. You might be able to get away with like a Chinese made-to-measure or something, but. Yeah, get it in navy. Don't get gray. Don't get a brown. Oh, I didn't even read the full question for some reason. Any tips for versatility? Is it a mistake to get a brown suit? I think they look cool. Well, I love brown suits. First of all,
Me too.
I love brown. But if you're an infrequent suit wearer, and you want to wear this to not just like an event, but to like a job interview, I would say navy. Straight up.
Yeah, I like brown a lot too. But yeah, stick with navy if you don't already have like a good navy suit.
Exactly. So I think that'd be good. Spear McKay, do it all the way. Find Oh wait, no, they made to measure. Fuck it, dude. Check out our friend Dave.
That's right.
Fugel at Atelier Few. That's right. He's made me a couple of cotton suits.
Really quick, I do want to just point out Spear and McKay, take it all the way. Great slogan for them.
Is
Because
is that off the dome?
No, you said that.
Wait, really?
Oh wait, well we could have MJ back the tape up, but I'm pretty sure a second ago you were like, Spear and McKay, take it all the way.
I'll hey. You guys need someone to read ad copy?
Yeah.
I'm right here. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life.
Oh, damn. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to point out that you said a very a nice rhyming slogan. So what were we talking about before that?
No, it's all good. I think, he's got the idea. Wear a navy suit. Get brown as like your third suit. Maybe get gray as your second one. I don't really have a gray suit, but, if you needed it, get it. But if you want a suit, for business, blue. You want a suit for fun, go brown.
Yep.
And then you'll be good there. Then just get gray odd trousers. And
Do you think you should get it plain or pattern?
Plain, definitely plain. If you get a pattern, do like a herringbone twill, like HBT. No, like a mild herringbone or a twill maybe. But plain weave is fine. I mean, yeah.
What do you?
But you're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that option until you go like made to measure.
Yeah. And what would we say for cloth options? Just like navy. What's good if he wants to wear it year round?
I mean, wool, open weave wool. But the thing is, again, if you're going to go Spear McKay, they have like straight wool. The only downside is I think that most suits at this price point aren't like casual fabric. Like they're not going to be super open weave. But keep that in mind if you do decide to save like an extra grand or an extra $500, $600, $700, to get something else. Like I think Patrick Johnson Taylor's is about $2,000 or maybe like $17 if it's cotton. But yeah, $750 from Atelier Fugue makes certain wools, cottons especially. That's a good. You one.
Might also be able to check out some local tailors, see if there's any local custom tailors in your area.
Yeah, definitely.
Obviously get a look at their work. If you like what you see, you'll probably be able to get something well within that range from a local tailor.
Yeah, you might also have to try and source the material yourself. But again, going back to it, it might take too much effort. Just go to Spear McKay. And also, if you don't wear a lot of suits, you may not know what to look for when you're doing made to measure or tailoring custom clothing. And that'll be the subject of like a future episode. Maybe once Spencer has had the option of getting a custom suit, then we can start talking about how we would approach that. But for now, Spear McKay, maybe Suit Supply if you're feeling really on the cheap end and you don't really care about 3-roll 2. But if you're listening to the podcast, you probably like 3-roll 2 and soft shoulders.
Yep.
But yeah, both Spear and McKay and Suit Supply have made to measure custom options. So check those out. Well, I think that'll do it on our end.
Yeah. And on your end too.
Yeah, I don't know how many people stop listening to the podcast at this point.
Isn't there like statistics that we can look up?
I think they listen for the middle ground is like 45 minutes. I think that's the big average.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys. Wait, actually if you're listening at this point, we love you.
Yeah, because you're the real ones.
You're the real heads.
Don't fuck us, make love to us. That's what we're asking for. Again, feel free to send us more questions and more topics, ideas, wonderments in our submissions folder.
Wonderments.
They are in, like a story or something.
Spin us a yarn.
Yeah, that you can find that in both the show notes and the episode description. Please read the show notes. Please check out the blog, streetexpressa.wordpress.com. You can follow the podcast at Style and Direction, all spelled out. I am at Ethan M. Wong.
I'm at Spencer DSO.
And we, the Sad Boys, will see you, the Sad Heads, in the next one.
Well, really quick, thank you to MJ for editing, and to Matthew for helping out with the show notes and the quotes.
Yes, very
Those are
very
the
important
realist
guys,
heads.
part of the team.
Yeah.
We're very glad to have them.
If
If we get Patreon, that's how we'll support everything. But we'll see. We'll see how it is.
We'll see.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.